looks like we're live. Okay, so what's up, Quick people? This is Vic on Quick. I was just putting away some DJ stuff, and looks like I got a reason to make another video. I was modifying. This is the Case Logic JCT-4. It's basically a cable tie. JCT stands for Jumbo Cable Tie. This is the bigger version. They also have a smaller version. And I use these to wrap up my cords. And so they're really useful. But I've been doing this, and I actually just started doing this a couple of weeks ago, and they've been holding pretty strong. But I'm slightly modifying this thing to make it infinitely more useful. Because what's the problem when you go to set up a bunch of stuff? You got the cable ties. They're getting set down or put aside as soon as you unbind the cables, the cords. You know, this is just for wrapping them up, Velcro strap right around them. So you end up losing these things all over the place. Well, you always tend to need them wherever you have the cord. So what I've been doing is slightly making a modification to them so that they can connect to the cable and never really detach. But it's not a permanent thing, but it's just a way of connecting it to the cable, keeping them both together. So just a short, quick video about what I actually do to these guys. So on this cable wrap, you have the one side of the Velcro, the soft Velcro on the one side, and then the other side has the rough side. And it's just a short strip, about 3 inches. So what I do is I take the opposite end and I fold it over, so I'm looking at the back side, and then you can see the texture, the lines and things on there. That helps you keep your cut straight. But what I'm basically doing is cutting a little, slightly smaller than a dime-sized hole in this thing. So I'm going to take it like that, and I cut a little hole. Bear with me, this is pretty quick. There's a little hole. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you also don't want to go too close to the edge. Okay, see I got that hole in there? So what this basically allows you to do is pass through this other end of the cable tie, and I've been folding that over and pinching the front of it down like that. Sorry, my hands are dirty, it's a little dusty out here. And I feed it right through there. You see that? So I'm kind of going right through that hole. Kind of takes a little finesse to get it through there. Now I've got the thing fed through just like that. But then there's one more thing I'm doing here before I finish this off. Is I'll take my scissors, fold it up again, but this time, depending on the thickness of your cable, you may want to do this while the cable's on there. Make sure your cable's not plugged in, but just to get a fit. But I've been kind of guesstimating. But I'm cutting a couple of notches so that the finished product looks something like this. So there's a couple of notches there. But basically what's going to happen, I take this, I wrap it through right on the end of the cable, feed it through just like I did before, like so, pass it through there, make sure my cable's through the middle, tighten it up. Those notches kind of, I didn't cut my notches exactly right, but that really makes it so that it doesn't cinch up right there. Your notches ideally want to just be in that little slot. So that's probably a good idea, just to measure your length of this thing once it's already wrapped around. Now I have a pretty good idea of where to cut because it's just bunched up right there. Anyway, so this one's not going to be perfect, but it'll work for a slightly thinner cable if I want to switch it out. So then I'll wind up my cable here. It's a short cable, but the good thing about this in the mobile DJ kind of rig is that you can also use this as a supplemental support. So you can get your lights rigged up, and then you can wrap this around your lighting truss to give you a little more security in case that bracket comes loose. It'll be another something to catch the light, keep it from falling on your guests. So there's that. Now I've got my cable wrapped up nice and neat, and then when I go to use it, I just unravel it, and I've got my cable. It's always connected. So real simple modification, and they haven't really torn across there. Actually, I haven't had a single one, even into smaller cable ties, that is torn. So it's been working out pretty well. So I've been using this across the board and where and when I want to keep my cables with my cable ties. And it's been working great. So I just thought I'd pass along that little bit of information. It's a real easy, you can see it took me all of a couple of minutes just to put the